About 18 years ago, Jan Stout and myself had an idea that we needed some way to bring agriculture into the schools. And her idea was the 4th grade Ag Day here at the fairgrounds, where each school would come and spend one day here and learn about different aspects of agriculture in Miami County and Indiana.
So what's the setup? How's everything set up?
There's a lot of communications and details to work up with a day like this, where there are 16 4th grade classes that attend. They rotate around the fairgrounds for the entire school day, and to 17 different presentations ranging from pork to water quality to apples and bees and farm machinery.
And ice cream. They get some ice cream,
Yes,
I hear.
and they do
I
get
heard
some
that's a
ice
favorite
cream.
one.
There are some treats that they get along the day. They'll get gummy worms at the soil station and some soy nuts to try, and yes, ice cream to learn about how ice cream is made and what dairy products and agriculture products are in that.
So how many fourth graders do you think you have this year?
This year we have approximately 410 4th graders here for the entire day, and we have at least 60 volunteers, adults. Some of those FFA students, but I would consider them adults since they're here teaching for the day.
And those are high school,
Correct.
bringing their animals and
Yes, Mechanical FFA, Mechanical students are so generous in bringing their animals here. The kids rotate around in the inside of the animal station to see 6 or 7 different types of animals. They get to pet them, and they learn various facts about those animals. North Miami FFA also attends, and they are presenters for the soil station, the dairy goats, and the dairy station. And then a few volunteer students that I use around the fairgrounds to help distribute those treats.
And so the same kids that were probably involved when they were in 4th grade.
Correct. They've been here from 4th grade, and now they're helping give back to 4th graders.
So the mission of the day, what's kind of the mission?
Yeah, so the mission of the day is really all about the educational experience that the kids are going to receive, learning about the agriculture industry. Not only agriculture industry as a whole, but really what goes on here in Miami County and how that touches their everyday life. A lot of the times these kids do not have access to that or don't realize they have access to that. So we're just trying to impart ag knowledge in their everyday life.
And there's probably some kids that's never been on a farm or seen a farm animal.
Yeah, that is always a possibility. Many kids have not been on a farm, but that doesn't mean that ag does not touch their lives still today.
And sometimes they get the misconception that ag day is just about animals, and it's much more than that.
Correct. Like Mary Lou mentioned before, we talk about dairy, we talk about nutrition, soil and water. There's a lot that the agriculture industry encompasses.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pretty good day so far, except we had a little bit of rain,
Yeah, wish you could control that.
just like on the farm.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You go with the punches.
All right. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
Number one is the header that we run for soybeans can be up to 40 or 45 feet wide, so he has to be able to reach past the end of it so that tractor can drive beside him in the field. And then also the height of it, some of the parts that we dump into are very tall, and if the combine would drop in a hole while he was driving beside him, he would hit the auger on the side of the cart, so we would have it way up there, so if he'd fall in a depression, he wouldn't bend his unloading. Good question. Yes.
My dad uses a semi to dump it all in, but how do you get the wheat?
The wheat?
You can't eat.
Okay, the wheat uses a very similar head to the soybean head. You cut the whole plant off, and there again it goes through the combine and separates the grains from the straw and blows air through it, gets all the chaff and straw out of it, and you get only the good, clean wheat in the grain tank? Another good question, because there is a fair amount.
Why are the tires? I mean, how big are the tires?
Well, those tires I think are 40, 30 something. A lot of the tires you see, they'll have like straddle wheels, we call them, or 4 tires. Whereas this one, a lot of them have gone to this one single tire. That tire right there is about $2,500. So if you poke a hole in it, yeah, it's sad.
So the fourth graders liking this station?
Yes, I've got a lot of interesting questions.
So did you do this in fourth grade?
Yes, we were here for the fourth grade.
Do you remember it?
Yes, I do.
So what are you telling him that you learned in fourth grade that you're telling him today?
Well, I learned that a cow had 4 stomachs when I was in fourth grade. I learned that. And I learned like the different types, like a female cow that hasn't had a baby is a heifer, and a male cow that's a young male cow is a steer. So we're also telling.
So you're sharing that with the fourth graders today.
Yes.
So you've been there, right?
Yep.
All right. Are you having fun doing it?
Yes, it's a great time.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. And this is Copper. How's he handling it?
I think he's tired.
Well, he looks like he's tired.
So those worker bees gather the food, they put it away, they cook, they clean, and boys, are you paying attention? Because I've got some good news for you. And girls, I'm going to make you mad at me for a minute. Worker bees are all girl bees. Us boys don't have to do anything. Can I get a Yahoo boy? Girls, is that fair? Too? Well, girls, let me tell you, I've got some really good news for you. And boys, I have some terrible news for you. Those girl worker bees are the only ones with the stinger, which means you girls rule the beehive.
That's how we bean the muscle. And the way your mom's telling you, oh, eat meat. You eat meat because you want to grow muscle. That's what helps grow muscle. That's why we produce it, so moms can have that meat to put on the table and say, we want you to be healthy. The minerals are important, just like you get in the morning, take a lunch.
Can't really see it very well because she doesn't want to she's laying down there, but where Nick is grabbing, you see that big jiggly part underneath the cow? That's her brisket, and that's where the brisket meat comes from, where we smoke that. Then on the back, in the hip area back there, that's where our chuck roast and our pot roast comes from, that area. Hamburger.
How do you guys take vitamins? You take vitamins, do you swallow them or chew them up? Swallow? Yeah, well, cows have to swallow theirs. And this is their vitamin. Yeah, can you imagine trying to swallow that?
It's a stone. Like big swollen swords. Like, not swords.
Go on down.
Yeah. How long does it take for the baby to start walking after it's born?
Well, it kind of varies on the calf. I've seen them as soon as they hit the ground start standing up, or trying to stand up, and start nursing, and then other times they can take a couple, 3 or 4 hours. But they're usually up and at it pretty quick, so.
So it's kind of neat that you went through this when you were in fourth grade. How's it feel to be on the other end and giving the presentation?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, getting to get back and.
Yeah. I knew a lot of the kids when we were younger, so it's cool because we get to see some of the younger kids that we know.
Yeah, that's the same for me.
Having fun?
Yeah.
It's a day out of school.
That's true.
All right, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
So cover crops are crops you put on your field during the winter time and when there's no crops on there to help keep the soil together so it doesn't all blow away. And they stop tilling the ground because if you use the right cover crops in the soil, the roots from those cover crops break up the soil and do the same thing as tilling does without exposing it. Yes.
Is the covering crops edible?
Yes, they are. Some people will harvest them too if they.
But what if they get dirt on them?
You can clean them.
Like corn
Yeah.
and strawberries.
Just like radishes and carrots, they grow on the ground, but you still eat them.
Like potatoes.
Alright, so now, look up your questions again. Turn around, now you see her lovely river. Alright, so back here, you can see this. You might know what this is called. This is her udder. She only has one udder, but she does have two of these things. You might know what those are called.
Question to remember also, what's Indiana a big producer of? Eggs. And how do you tell what color egg the chicken's gonna lay? All right. And what's in chicken feed?
Corn, soybeans,
All
Very
right.
good. You guys are good listeners.
Good job.
All right. Does anybody have any?
So we're going to see if you guys can divide up different ingredients for compost. I'm going to show you a picture and you can tell me if it's a green or a brown. Okay. How about this first one here?
Brown.
No, it's green.
Brown. Green.
It is a green. It is rotten, old vegetables, fruits, all of those. How about you?
Shredded newspaper.
Shredded newspaper. There's our first brown ingredient. Now, how many more brown ingredients do we need? Three more. All right. How about you? The leaves. Okay, here's our second ingredient for our compost.
Now, in order for those crops to grow, of course we need sunshine, which we're not getting today, but what are we getting today? We need something else too. Rain, water. And so lots of water helps that plant to grow. So when corn grows, notice that the ear will grow up on the stalk. When corn becomes ripe and it's ready to pick, the ear will turn down because it is very heavy and it ripens and we call it, it dries out. And so the ear will then turn down. Now, no. So we go in with a corn picker and it shucks it. It takes the shuck off, it takes the hair off, and it leaves the cob and the corn, and we pick it. Then we can grind it up.
I'm not saying that you can't live on a boat in a river, but everybody lives in a watershed. And when I say that, I mean, say you live in a house, the water hits the house, lands on the grass, your house is built on land, that land runs where?
To the river.
Right, so, my partner here, Katie, she's going to explain a little bit on how a little bit from everybody adds up and can have dramatic effects on the Wabash River.
Okay, so this is going to be our watershed, and theoretically speaking, this will be through. And water runs downhill, so this will be the big, yes, good job. All right, what's been outside all day today? Yeah, we're getting a lot of rain this year. So, when the rains happen, and there's going to be more rain tomorrow, it's going to keep pushing down the watershed into the Wabash River. Now look at that.
Look how nasty that is. See how a little bit upstream doesn't seem like a lot? No. And everything just gets pushed together, flushed out to the Wabash.
And what's this blue stuff? Oil. Oil? Alright, so you got all your car oil and stuff everywhere. But it's not in the river yet, so it's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of okay.
Yeah. And what's this green stuff? Fertilizer?
Grass.
Right. You got all your fertilizer here too. Now,
Is that everybody? All right. So who has the My Plate? Who has seen the My Plate?
Me. I've seen it in the
have one at school? In the nurse's office?
No.
No?
Yes. No.
All right. So what do we have on here? So today we're going to talk about the fruits and the vegetables. Okay? So how much room does that take up on our plate? Half. So half of our plate. How many of you like to eat bacon? Yeah? How many of you like ham? A good ham sandwich every now and then. Okay. So when we think about a pig provides bacon and ham and pork shoulder and ribs and all sorts of yummy food. We say the back of the leg. So the back of the leg is where your ham comes from. We said the ribs. Some of you like to eat ribs, maybe? Yeah, barbecue ribs, those are great. So that comes from the inside of your pig. Anybody like a good pulled pork sandwich sometimes? Yes. Yeah. So the meat that you make your pulled pork comes from the shoulder of a pig. So it's important that you kind of understand where your food comes from. It doesn't grow in the grocery store. So they're not growing it out back. So when you go to the grocery store, you see pigs will provide insulin. So if you know anybody who is diabetic and maybe struggles with some sugar issues, they can take insulin, which will help treat or help manage their diabetes. Insulin comes from a pig. If you know anybody with heart issues, maybe the valves in their heart don't function like they're supposed to, you can take a valve from a pig's heart and replace a valve from a human heart with that pig's heart and make your heart work again. So there's a lot of
And they worked out.
like 4 to 6 hours to make your ice cream. But now they, that's a long time to wait, isn't it?
I don't want to wait that long. I
Right.
just want to eat my food.
But now, that's an old-fashioned ice cream maker, and you always had to put your ingredients in and then crank it.
And they worked out.
Like 4 to 6 hours to make your ice cream. But now they, that's a long time to wait, isn't